So there's a reason why I didn't upload over the weekend. I think specifically more Saturday, Sunday-ish. It's because I was finishing Stellar Blade. I decided to finish the game because I knew I was close to the end. I just didn't know how close, I should say. I knew I was there. So before I finished the game, I tried to do a little like achievement hunting. Very recently, I started to start platting video games, and honestly I think I started to plat my PlayStation games. I don't think I've platted any of my PC / Steam games, whatever you want to say, except for like Destiny 2. But honestly, like platting Destiny 2, just all you have to do is play. You don't really have to like focus on anything specific. These PlayStation games, I mean, they feel more rewarding when you actually put in the time to plat it, because it usually involves going out the way to do a certain thing. So if there's something I want to speak about, I mean, the first thing I gotta mention is the voice acting. Alright, that's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the only negative I have to say about Stellar Blade. I mean, at times it can feel dull. I mean, just Google a video of all of Adam's voice lines. I think the only time like the emotions and just the tone of his voice actually matched the scenes was literally the last couple scenes of the game. Spoiler alert, he is the final boss. I think that was the only time his voice actually matched the tone of the scene, and it actually felt appropriate for him to talk like that. Because the whole game, I was like, okay, he doesn't sound very enthusiastic. I mean, I feel like it kind of does make sense towards the end, but at the same time, it's like, I feel like we've had different iterations of what, I guess, different versions of what his character would be like in different video games, and they've had more emotion. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy, but it was definitely the voice acting. It seems to be a lot of these games that I really love happen to have, questionable voice acting, such as Horizon, well, just the Horizon series in general. Like I was saying, when I first beat the first Horizon, I said the game is literally perfect. Don't touch it except for the dialogue between characters. I hated the dialogue between characters because it felt like you were drinking flat soda, if I could like actually describe it. Like it actually felt like you were drinking flat soda. Like you want to drink the soda, but it's not there. But you're going to keep drinking it because you served yourself. But honestly, to be fair, I think that was my only negative. And if I'm even trying to nitpick, I think the game was too short, if I'm being honest. To be fair, though, I didn't know this, but apparently the developing company that made Stellar Blade made a mobile games prior to Stellar Blade. Like, literally, Stellar Blade is their first console video game ever. I thought that was super impressive, and I feel like for Stellar Blade to do this amazing for their first console game, I think that's really promising. I'm not gonna lie, like I look forward to their next releases. And it was funny too, because I don't play mobile games, so I didn't know like what some of the games were when I was searching up like their previous like projects. And my friend, he recognized one of the titles. I forget what it was, but he was like, why does that game sound familiar? It's probably a gacha or something. I mean, because to be honest, a lot of like Korean made games they tend to be gachas for some reason. I don't know what's like the fascination with gachas. Maybe it's just the market over there. Maybe that's what gets them the big bucks. I don't know. I know, what is it, Genshin Impact? I'm pretty sure that's a Korean game. I can't remember clearly. I literally haven't played since like I think beta. No, not beta, release. I don't know. It was a while ago. I think they also have a gacha system, no? Because I remember trying to get that one dude with the fire sword and stuff. That tall guy with the red hair. I remember trying to get him out the packs, and after I spent like $10, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this anymore. The fact that it actually turned out to be a gacha was pretty fucking funny, but I'm glad they turned around I guess the culture of what their games are and actually produce some like peak. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was playing through the campaign, trying to plat it and stuff, and I realized, I was like, okay, now I obviously have to go back into the story to do the new game plus, but I actually locked myself out of some achievements that I can't get, because apparently throughout, I think if you pass a certain part of the game, you just can't access certain areas and certain people. Like, I think this guy's name was Digger. He's this little like bot AI thingy, and he basically sells you stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, didn't pay attention to his quest line. I think I did the first one to access him, and then I just did not pay any attention to him after that. So I actually have to go back and talk to him, because not only does he have collectibles that I want, because I'm not gonna lie, I've been trying to get all the outfits and stuff like that because they're pretty fucking hot. I'm not gonna lie. But also because I need to get damaged weapon cores repaired. And I need to do that because one of the achievements is to max out, my main weapon. I forget what it's called, but it's basically the sword that Eve uses throughout the whole game. I'm not gonna lie, I did find weapon cores to upgrade my damage for the sword, but I don't know if that counts to the achievement. I don't know. I was kind of just like autopiloting as soon as I started the New Game Plus. So I kind of have to, you know, I have to lock in because I also didn't realize that going through the same like cases that I got my old suits in actually give me new suits. So I actually have to lock in for New Game Plus. I didn't realize it actually, you know, gave me new stuff. And honestly, there's these things called the exospines. They're basically like, I guess you could say buffs that you can give yourself. Like one of them is like makes it easier to dodge and parry, right? Or another one is, you know, your beta abilities are 10% stronger. Apparently, if you go to that same spot where you found that exospine at, you can find the next evolved version of it. And essentially, instead of getting 10% at max, you know, upgrade for the exospine, you can actually get about 20% maybe. I mean, that's pretty freaking cool. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think I would have to lock in for a New Game Plus. I thought it was gonna be like Miles Morales, which is probably the last time I played a New Game Plus, where I literally just ran through the main story in like 2.5 hours just so I could get the trophy for beating it in New Game Plus. I will say though, that plot twist at the end with Adam was so nice. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie. Didn't expect it. I thought that man's died because, you know, he just wasn't showing up and shit. But it turns out they actually worked it into the story where he's actually the last boss. It's actually kind of crazy. Like, we were with this man for the whole story, all for him to be the last and main villain of the whole story. It's actually kind of a good plot twist. I'm not gonna lie. And the fact that he was helping us and trying to change our, like, I guess, philosophy on who we should be and what the real truth is on the planet, it's a pretty good story. I'm not gonna lie. Now, it's not to say I didn't expect a lot, but it was pretty darn good. And I'm not gonna lie too, there are a lot of hard boss fights in that game. I thought Taki was really cool. It wasn't really hard, to be fair. Not gonna lie. I mean, I feel like I just got very lucky with her moveset because she wasn't using anything like spammy, I guess you could call it. But towards the end, like with that black feathered chick Natiba that turned out to be an actual like Eve android, I'm not gonna lie, that shit was hard. Because there was this one move where if you didn't like deflect it, block it, or parry it, you were stun locked. It was kind of bad. It was kind of bad. And I kept getting stuck with that move, man. It was insane. Not to mention it did like a shit ton of damage. I'm not going to lie. I took a break from Souls games so I could play Stellar Blade. I didn't think I was going to keep playing Souls games the way these like timings work. It was insane. But man, she got this one suit. I forgot what it's called, but dude, I'm gonna have to get a picture of it because it's actually insane. If I could compare it to anything, you know that one official art of Orihime from Bleach in the swimsuit in that little, I guess, I don't know. Basically, it's Orihime in a swimsuit, right? From Bleach. It's official art. The author of Bleach actually drew that. When I tell you, the twins is ready to pop out. Like, that's exactly, bro, I swear to, no exaggeration. Like, I think the joke was that Urahime's bathing suit was captain level, the way they be holding those things back. It is the same exact thing with Eve's, like, bodysuit in this one costume, bro. It's insane. Looking at it now, like, oh my fucking god. I'm not gonna lie, it's my favorite suit. I'm not gonna lie, that's my favorite suit in the game. No contest. I even went out of my way to unlock the lingerie suit. No, that one's my favorite. Yeah, but enough gooning. I mean, it's insane. I really do enjoy this game. It's been a while since I've had fun on a game such as Stellar Blade, where I guess you could say combat takes the priority over story. Like, there's not a lot of games that take combat over story priority. It's usually the other way around, but I feel like it did work out for the better in this game. And it's to the point where the story is good enough for me not to care about it because the combat, it just makes up for so much. I genuinely love the combat in that game. I highly recommend Stellar Blade to anybody who is thinking about trying it. Anybody who thinks it's just about like sexualizing a woman, it's really not. It genuinely is a good game and plays into what it's good at. That's really all I have to say. I mean, it was just me glazing Stellar Blade because it was just such a good game. Like, I really wish I could play that game for the first time again. I don't have that luxury. So I hope other people get to experience it the way I did. That's about it. Have a good one. Like, comment, subscribe, please. That's it. Bye.